Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about a topic that is very common and you have heard it several times on news or in day-to-day life conversation. And even maybe you will also felt a victim of it. So I'm going to talk about a topic that is going to be a very controversial and could be difficult to handle. Well, let me start it. The topic of today is corruption. Now, as I said, the corruption, the the main thing that will come in your mind is that will I'm going to talk about the government sector, or will I talk about to the any specific agency, or I'm going to talk about to curb down. So what are the action the government is taking? Yeah, this could be the one of the and point of talk, but I will try to add a lot of things from a various perspective, from a common man to a man who is billionaire or millionaire and who has a lot of money, who can utilize his money in the various way. So well, now let's start with how the what is the corruption and from where we generally started using this word lot of time. So the first time when I started using this word or started listening this word from the news channel, when it was back in 28 or 9. At the time we seen that there is a lot of corruption in every government department. Starting from the 2G spectrum case, where the spectrum has been distributed without doing a uh, proper what we call it, the name of that activity is nomination. No, the nomination was not that. Proper auction. So auction was the right word. So without doing any auctions, the spectrum has been the spectrums have been distributed among the companies, and by just taking a bid, by just taking a random amount from every company. So we have already noticed that there were so many communication or the telecommunications companies that were there in the days, but whence, so everyone was happy, the calls rate were going down. People think that this is because of the government policy or India is getting digital. But later, after doing the investigation, what was found out that the government is being cheated, and the company directly paid the money to the people who were responsible. And later what happened, that the person who was accountable for entire game was caught and now in the behind the bar. So that's how the corruption started happening. But I'll tell you in the normal situations how you can see the corruption. For an example, you are going in your two-wheelers, but you are not wearing your helmet. The people who have a car, let me give an example of car. Let's suppose you are going uh, in your car, and suddenly you will see a police person. You are not wearing the seat belt, and he asks you to pay the fine. Right? In the both the cases, in the first case you are not wearing helmet, in the second case you are not wearing the seat belt. Now you will say that why should pay I pay the fine? The fine is too high. Instead, and the fine is going to get into the government pocket. You will ask or you will negotiate with the police or the personnel, and after that, once you will decide, you will give some sort of some money to that person, and he is going to ask, he is going to ask you to leave. This is how the corruption is started. So corruption is not only all about the people who are in power, they are being corrupt. Corruption is all about the person who is getting involved, be it anyone. So so the corruption is something, if I wanted to define it, I am going to define it in a way that corruption is something, activity of illegal activity, or the activity which is not been asked by the or trusted by the people, and we are deviating from the aligned way of a process, and somebody is gaining a financial benefit out of it in terms of giving the services or any any process. So this is how the corruption can be described. But in India, it's very high. You will see the people. The police department is one of the branded corrupt department, and there are other department too, where unless until you pay money to the government, they are not going to do your work. And be it a transport department, if you wanted to buy or purchase a license, then they will ask you, they will ask a license. If you want, they will ask license. So this is something that you will see. The corruption is everywhere. The people are fed up of it. We have seen the corruption in Sri Lanka. We have seen the corruption in Nepal, Bangladesh, Pakistan. These all countries are the Asian country, but including India. India is not an exception. India is not something. India is also not something like which has zero corruption. It has, but the level of corruption in the other country is too high, so that people suffer a lot. They are not getting a proper meditation, oh sorry, proper healthcare, proper things, and then finally they are at the suffering end. Now we have lot talked about the corruption, but what is the solution of this corruption? We have seen the politicians come. They say that the first party, the ruling party, is the corrupt party. If we are going to select their party, they are going to make the corruption free environment. We have seen a lot of politicians who came up and just sold the dream of being a corruption free India. And when they got selected, after that they started doing the corruption. So this is what we have seen. This is what is happening on the ground. But on the reality, nobody is helping. Nobody is doing any work, anything for a poor people, and everybody wanted to exploit everyone, and with the help of money, and that is we called it corruption. Even the trying to people are not trying, people are using the government funds to explore their personal tasks. This is what we have observed. In fact, there is a anti corruption bureau. The corruption bureau is there, but I don't think so they are too active. They work, but they are the outcome is very low. I don't think so the effectively the ACB Anti-Corruption Bureau is working to their utmost capacity. Even if yes, so the visibility is so low for them. Well, having said that, this is the entire situation that I have narrated about the corruption. Yeah, I was not able to touch base few topics about the corruption, but soon I'm going to read more about it and talk in length. But till the time, whatever I'm speaking, it's a spontaneous talk. So here the chances of error are high. But this is what I need to develop in me, and this skill is a art. It's not a skill. Once I'll develop this art, then definitely I can speak on any random topic without wasting a time. So this is what I need to do. Well, this is my second talk of the day, so let me close this podcast. 42 is done, and this is giving me a confidence to speak in front of a lot of people. And let's see how the things turn out. I am hoping for the positives. Even if not, then there will be learnings. So that is what I'm doing here.